This video is the how to eat to live video and my experience with in comparison to eating 6 meals a day and 6 meals a day in training in comparison to fasting in training. So the question that I always get or got in the past was, yo, do you lose muscle? Well, here's the thing. When you're eating 6 meals a day, well, when I was eating 6 meals a day, yes, I was putting on more muscle and I was about 165, 170. At one point I got to 188. But when I transitioned back into fasting, yes, you lose muscle. But a lot of people didn't know me back then, so it was obvious, to not even ask. But so being 188 pounds when I was 20, 21 years old, 22, and now being 140 pounds, yeah, you lose muscle. Although, what I noticed is that as far as sleep, let me go back to sleep. I sleep about 4 to 6 hours, but the sleep is much more efficient because I'll feel lighter, and then as I feel lighter, I'll feel more rejuvenated in the morning. It still takes me about an hour and a half to even get my body to get started for the day. Going forward, but in the middle of the day while fasting, we're talking about doing 1 meal a day or 1 meal every 2 days. Sometimes I'll snack depending on my discipline during the time, but when I would fast a lot, I noticed my body would need naps. So there were times when I wanted to work out, and I had to keep in mind that, dude, you didn't eat the last 24, 36, or 48 hours. You might as well rest, let your body, recuperate, and then wake up and then go for a nice stretch or something that will warm the body up into training. So even the approach was different because my body didn't have any like external fuel to keep fueling it from the outside, meaning like eating 6 meals a day. So now eating 1 meal a day or 1 meal every 2 days and something tiny or small in the middle. And you guys know I love chocolate at times, but I do fast a lot. But now it's like I have to be much more strategic before I go train because for the fact that your body does need certain nutrients to be optimal in the system before you actually start working out, because there were times where I would catch cramps a lot. There was one time where I passed out one time. There was one time when I got just really, really, really weak. There's one time when I got nauseous one time. And then I had to take a few steps back and go, wait a minute. Because when I was doing 6 meals a day, I was able to train 2 to 3 times a day. When it came down to 1 meal a day or 1 meal every 2 days and all this fasting that I've been doing, it really came down to being much more strategic in how I train and when I train. So when I wake up, and if I wake up from like a day or 2 days of fasting, after 2 days of fasting, I would feel good, but then I have to keep in mind, dude, that is from you off of pure energy, but you don't have as much resources in your body as you would if you were to eat 6 meals a day, if that makes sense. So then I had to go, oh, okay. So the book, How to Eat to Live, and or Medicine of the Prophet said that whenever you're traveling, you should have crackers or a bite into an apple or carrot juice or dates or honey and water. Because if you're traveling, right? If you're traveling and you're fasting, your organs are banging against each other and it can create a disease. So when training, and you're fasting, your organs are banging against each other, creating a disease that's probably unknown to you now, but it's festering and over the years to come it will show up. And I'm not sure what that would be, but just think about things bouncing against each other, and they're supposed to be staying in place, and that's what food does. So food does comfort the organs. So of course, money I save a lot more. The vitamins I still take the same type of vitamins. It's just more spread out. So where a vitamin will last 30 days, now it will probably last 90 to 120 days. I'm much more aware of which vitamin is missing from my system. And the other thing too is that, so I mentioned money, I mentioned sleep. I rarely get sick. Only if it's based on circumstances of the environment of the apartment in which I live in. I barely get sick. I feel more flexible. I don't need 10 to 12 hours of sleep. And now my body is transitioning into the fasting life, meaning that because of all the fasting, my hormones, my organs can stay cleaner, my mind stays clearer when thinking, my sleeping is better. I'm just aware of much more things rather than eating all day and always staying like in a in a like always an eating state. So I'm in a fasting state, then know when to eat, then learn when to train. So if that makes sense, and then that's the comparison that I have, and I actually do feel lighter. I do feel younger. I'm getting my flexibility back. My range of motion is improving, and yeah, just so many different things like that. I'm able to do things. I roller skate, I skateboard, I go by cycling. What else I'm about to get into? I'm about to, I go to airsoft. I'm even more active still. I have more time to do things. But so that's the whole thing about having more time to actually do things rather than spending $120 every 2 to 3 days for food, or $300 to $600 a week on food. I have more time to use that money for other fun things that I would like to do. Peace.